The bandits and the terrorists in the north are demanding for school, for grazing reserves, and for hospitals. The bandits. Someone may argue, are you sure it's the bandits that are demanding for this or the locals? You hear it in this video that I'm about to show you. This report did not come from an ordinary man on the street. This statement is not reported by the bandit themselves. This statement actually was put to the top public by the Katsina State government. So rather than being sentimental in this analysis, I will try as much as possible to be quite objective and to reel out the motive and why the bandits want these three key things to be established. The three things that bandits are actually demanding for right now, the armed bandits often make demand in exchange for releasing kidnapped individuals, allowing access to certain area and ceasing violence activity. So the common bandit demand involving infrastructures. Number one, school. They demanded for school. They demand that school should be built or reopened in rural areas. And the possible motive behind this is, number one, to win over locals or local populations. Bandits, not government, to win. This is their motive. Number two, reasons for demanding for schools in their rural environment or in the rural environment is they want to use schools as negotiation leverage or target for abduction. The number three, they need school is that sometimes it is symbolic to show dominance or power. So these are the three key reasons why the bandits and the terrorists are requesting that school should be established for them.
Happening in Katsina State. Negotiation with bandits, and we learned that they are making some demands, according to government, demanding for schools, demanding for hospitals. And what do you make of all this?
And grazing reserves. Well, it's fascinating and troubling that, bandits have moved from demanding for ransom and, fuel and none of that, and now they are demanding for schools, they are demanding for hospitals. It just beats my mind that how did things degenerate to this point? Some people might say that this is just a collapse of, state authority. If you have non-state actors, dominating over the affairs of the state and making these demands as peace talks. These are people that have, displaced people, maimed people, killed people, and, they seem to have the upper hand. It just goes to show what is government really doing about this situation. And also, if you take a look at the demands that these people are making, these are also the common demands of, the citizens. They ask for better schools, they ask for, better environments to work in, they ask for better health care. And if there is a collapse of this in the state, and this it comes down to bandits are also asking for the same thing. It also goes to show government's capacity in the state, and it's a call for them to do more. I feel this demand just holds up a mirror in government's face to say, look at what is depleted in the state, and you need to fix this. If bandits are demanding for this, then it's a sorry situation, I must say.
Yeah. For me, it clearly shows that bandits have now considered themselves to be an authority. They're not a government within a government. And the question is, who gave the community the right, the audacity to negotiate with bandits? This is a national security issue. And we had the Commissioner for Security reportedly saying that it was not the Katsina government that initiated the peace agreements with the militants. It was the community that demanded it. It was the village leaders who negotiated with repentant government village leaders negotiating.
Well, if you
I
ask
think
me,
if that happened, then it means it's an abdication of responsibility by the state government. And I think the National Security Advisor should take the lead. No state should be allowed to just unilaterally go into negotiating with bandits. Because
well, what choice do you think the citizens are left with if they are killed on a daily basis and government don't seem to be coming to their rescue?
Failure of government.
It just leaves them in the hand of this bandit that they will do anything possible to protect themselves. I think that is the situation they
very
find
soon,
themselves.
bandits will come out and say they demand for the creation of states for them.
Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. I hope that it doesn't
let's
get
salvage
to that
our
point.
nation.
I don't know why or who they are actually asking to do this. Is it the government or the people, or who are they actually asking? Who is supervising them? There are so many questions that are lying or that are begging for answers. Number two, they requested for hospitals, or they are requesting for hospital. The demand is hospital right now, and establish healthcare centers or supply existing ones. Possible motive for requesting for hospitals is number one, to meet their their own medical needs, injuries from conflicts. Maybe when they engage in battle with Nigeria military, when some of them are injured, they need experts, they need hospital to actually take care of their injuries, and this is why they are doing this. And number two, why they request for they are demanding for hospital is that to increase control over communities by being seen as protector or provider. To increase control over communities by being seen as protectors or providers. Number three reasons, or number three thing that they are demanding for is grazing land. Access to grazing route or land for their livestock. We all know that Fulani did not have any other, because these terrorists over there, they are regarded as, they are Fulanis. So they don't have their own, any other career rather than moving cow from one place to another. So the possible motive for demanding for land or grazing land or grazing reserves is number one, many bandits have linked to herders communities. Number two, dispute over land use are common trigger of conflict in the state or in various states. So this demand often reflects deeper governance failures and community neglect. So I don't know, bandits exploit the absence of governance services to actually position themselves as alternative authority. So this is why we need to look into this demand that these Boko Harams or the terrorists or bandits in the northern part of the country, we need to look into it, because the neglect, Gumi actually came out to say this, that they are the victim, the Boko Haram or the, what's it called now? They are the victim of government neglect. And their demand now is reflecting the deeper governance failures and community neglect. That is just the truth. Don't let us be too very sentimental here, because government have actually abandoned these areas. They have taken over those areas. Then, number two, it to shows or to show the blurry line between criminality and insurgency in a rural conflict zone. For example, especially in Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, in part of Zamfara, Katsina, or Kaduna, bandits have at times demanded construction of roads or schools in exchange of peace. How you are hearing this for the first time, or you are hearing for the first time? Bandits often demand construction of roads or schools in exchange for peace. They always requested amnesty, money, or land rights. They often threaten attack if grazing routes or grazing routes are blocked. So these are the things we need to look at, rather than be very sentimental and emotional about this statement put out by the bandit or by the Katsina state government from bandit. We should look into it because these areas are neglected by the government, and these people have the opportunity and they hijack the area, and now they are demanding that such area, those things that government failed to do that enable them to hijack these people or this environment, government should come and fix it for them, so that it will look as if they are the authority over those rural areas. So one may ask, the money that these people are the ransom they are be collecting is not enough to build all this, construct all these roads and make a hospital for themselves. So let's move on, because these are the critical issues we need to look into. Bandit demand for schools, hospital, or grazing land are not purely criminal. They signal socio-political grievance. Such demand should be, approached with a mix of security action and socio-economic development. Long-term solutions require restoring government presence, community dialogue, and development. So when we talk about community dialogue is actually what the play out last week when the bandits were actually gathered at a place in Katsina, and they gave them, some of them, chieftaincy title. They broker agreement with them. They actually enter into peace deal with them, and I don't know if they are being rewarded for what they have been doing for killing people and all that. Why? Because the presence of government is not visible in this area. So today is not to hit the bandit, not to hit the government. Today is to balance the issue. Please, what do you feel about this demand? I just reel out what the possible motive of bandits requesting for these three key things. What do you think about this? Please put it in the comment section, and I will come back to tell you how far the government actually gone with these people.